I took every cut seriously. Daniels helped me with my swing. When I got in, he said, well, make this adjustment so you can, hit the ball harder and keep two hands on the bat. So,
Bobby, you were fourth on the team in batting average. You hit .301 last year. You led them in runs scored with 27. What did you learn from last season to build on starting on Monday?
Just stay positive. Just keep my head. When things get tough, don't automatically shut down. There was a few times last year when things didn't necessarily go my way, and sometimes I would shut down, and then somebody would have to pick me back up.
Baseball is definitely one of those games you got to sort of have that even keel throughout, because something goes bad, it'll kind of snowball.
You got to get rid of it.
What about position-wise? You could play outfield, infield, playing a couple years at third base. How do you like being over there at the hot corner?
Well, I'm not at third base anymore.
Oh, you're not?
No, that's now occupied by Nolan Hoss. I was moved to second base and right field.
Okay. Moving around the infield a little bit. So you like being versatile. I mean, you can play anywhere then basically 3 of the 9 positions.
Second base is definitely different. It doesn't take it feels like forever to for the ball to come to you. From third base, it was quick.
So bang over there, yeah.
You got to be looking out. When you're over on the first base side, I played first base, so you can be a little lazier getting ready. Third base, you can't be very lazy. So go ahead here with a couple of questions for each of you. First, we'll go ahead and let Bobby keep the mic here. Bobby, can you give us an idea of what the locker room's like for this baseball team and how close you guys are?
Where we've played with each other for so many years, I feel like we're tight with each other and we're really close with each other. I mean, there's never a dull moment in the locker room. It's just like after every win, we play jump around and we'll sing it. And then after every practice, we'll play when it rains, it pours. So, I mean, it's fun. I mean, nobody argues with each other in the locker room. It's just fun.
Got any good stories over the years since you're a senior?
Not right off the top of the head, I don't.
We'll have to can't bring you back that way.
Yeah, definitely. Let me sit on that one. Let me think about that one. Bring me back.
We might let Aaron tell one then here. Aaron, what about you? You got any good stories for us?
As he takes the mic.
Yeah.
I can't think of any, in all honesty. Right off the bat, it's usually just the same thing. Just you come in, you have fun, you joke around.
Well, earlier Lane threw you under the bus a little bit. Do you got anything to say to him?
Try to sell me. See how successful you'll be.
Okay, we'll do like a series. Soccer, you go play soccer, and he's got to come wear some cleats and try to steal second base.
Yep.
And when we break it for the tiebreaker, Lane has to try to run you over.
Oh, yeah, we'll see how that goes.
We're getting back to football there. That's where this all began, right? All right, so a couple of Ask Cats questions, I believe, for you guys.
Yeah, we have 2 for Aaron and 1 for Bobby. And Doug Rose asks Aaron, in your opinion, why do most baseball players not want to be a catcher? What's tougher physically, catching in baseball or playing linebacker in football?
Tougher catching a baseball. And
knees, man.
Oh, it's hard on your knees, and you have to be in football. You have to be 100% mentally focused. In baseball, you have to kick it up a notch.
And when you're a catcher, you can't wear knee savers. You get made fun of. You wear knee savers.
I'll wear knee savers.
Jamie was making fun of you earlier. So.
If I don't wear knee savers, I won't have any knees right now.
I get that. And then Taylor Owen sends in. I don't know if you guys know each other or not, but she sends in. Which puts more pressure on you, a tied baseball game in the bottom of the 7th and you're coming up to the plate, or a 4th and 1 that you have to convert on a possible game?
I'm going to stop you there, baseball.
You think about it so much more.
Yeah, I do. And in baseball, if I think too much, then it just doesn't work out. So I just go in there with no thought process at all and just play.
Taylor sending in good questions in the offseason. We might have to add her to our list to send us questions. That way we get ready. We'll enroll her on Bearcat Radio, right?
Yeah, hey, if you want in on the group text, we're definitely taking suggestions for those.
Internship right there.
So for Bobby, Doug Rose sends in, what would be the best thing that could happen to you in your senior season of baseball?
Definitely win a state championship. With it being my senior year, it would mean nothing more to me than to just go out with, hardware on my hand. It'd just be the best feeling ever.
All right, so last question here. You're on the team. You know everybody's superstitions. Who has the best superstition and who has the weirdest superstition? Or is it the same?
can't really say who has the best or who has the weirdest superstition. I mean, I think the worst superstition for any baseball player, not just us, is crossed bats. You lay a bat down and you lay one on top of each other. It's just bad stuff for baseball players. And I get everybody just has their own thing, you know. I mean,
what's yours?
Draw a cross in the dirt. And if I'm not having a good day at the plate, then I'll draw multiple crosses. Just until whatever works. Doesn't matter how many I draw.
Right off the top of my head, I can't think of any superstitions. I mean, I know I have a few. It's just like what Aaron said with the cross bats. Is if I see a bat that's crossed and we're having a bad inning, that's the reason why we're having a bad inning is because the bats are crossed. So I uncross them immediately.
All right, let's do one more real quick because I want to. It just hit me, Favorite Coach Daniels quote or most used that's your favorite?
Oh, I could tell.
Words are words, actions are actions.
What was that one?
Words are words, actions are actions.
Okay, that's a good one.
I got one. And
I've heard the contender pretender twice today.
I've heard there are two types of players at least 5 times today.
So those, where would you rank those 3?
Words are words is number 1. He tells us that just about every day. And there are 2 type of players. We get that often too.
Well, guys, we thank you for joining us. Bobby, have a great senior season. And, Aaron, you have a good junior season. We'll see you come around for fall. We might see you again this year. You never know. But
sounds good.
We enjoy talking to you guys. Let's give Aaron and Bobby a round of applause as they get ready for baseball season on Monday. When we get back, we'll have softball head coach Vanessa Myers when we get back after the break.
Hi, I'm Matt Kenseth. You don't have to be a race car driver to know that life can be full of drama. Some of it you can't control, like mechanical issues, high winds, and rain delays. But there's some drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
You just need to take that first step and find free classes near you and leave the drama for the racetrack.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and in 2009 it was me, your fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when one of my embers landed on dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much.
Welcome back to Bearcat Sports Chat. We're now joined by Virginia High softball coach Vanessa Myers. We were talking there. All the girls come down and sit in the front. They do that for some reason. No one else does it. We can't get the boys varsity team to do it, but it feels like story time at church, and the preacher comes down to talk to them. So we thank you for joining us, first of all, Coach.
Thanks for having us.
And, of course, we got to call the game the other night. Turned out, tough game, but we had a good amount of listeners. Really surprised. We had close to 200 listeners for the first game.
That's awesome. All right.
So first question here, of course, we thank you for joining us. You have a very young team this year. A lot of them, though, have a lot of experience. They played on last year's region tourney appearance and that. Can you give our listeners some players to watch from this year's team and what under the radars can make an impact? So a two-part question.
Well, I'd say, all of our players, absolutely, because there's no one player that's going to stand out. We're going to have players, different players stand out in different games. It just depends who's ready to shine in different games. As for under-the-radar players, I've got a couple of freshmen that's going to come in this year, and they're going to have a chance to shine as well.
The game the other night, you have one game down, really just had two bad innings that kind of differentiated the game there. They pulled out 11-5 win. What were your takeaways from the season opener? I know that you want to be crisp every game and you want to have the best game, but it was your first game of the year. You're still kind of working out the kinks, having some girls who've been playing some other sports late in the year kind of get their kinks worked out too. What can you take away from that?
Well, we've got to be ready to play from the get-go. That's number one, and be ready to finish the game. We've got to eliminate errors, obviously, and get the bats going and keep the bats going throughout the game. We had a late start there with our bats and a few errors, working out positions. We moved some people around, just seeing what's going to work. Getting people in the right spots and getting our lineup figured out and all that.
Speaking of lineup, oh my goodness, you want to talk about something hard to keep up with. Me and Dylan had to mark out names on a lineup card at least 3 times to try and figure out where everybody was.
Yeah, we need to take a crash course in re-entry and designated player and flex.
Right. Well, having the designated player and the flex player, you can leave the designated player in, and you can move your defense around, and it doesn't matter with the offensive lineup.
And so you told Mark there, and he wasn't even listening or writing anything down. So
it's on playback. I'm good.
Stay the same, but you can move your defense around.
Just move the defense around. Okay.
So then, if you take them out of the game. Like if they go in on defense, then they go in on offense too, right? If you take one player out, they go in. Can you change your flex player throughout the course of the game?
Can I do what now?
Like, can you change your flex player? Like, hey, I want this person to play the field.
Yeah, because the flex player's defense, so I can change my defense as long as I don't change my offense.
This is so hard.
Let's not blow Mark's mind during the show. It's already on the edge anyway, so don't want to push it any further. You returned 6 hitters to that batting order. That had a batting average over 300 last year. What are your expectations from this team on the offensive side this season?
Well, obviously just to continue that and improve upon it. A lot of these girls play travel ball, and they work hard in the off season. We've been hitting since November, so a lot of them been hitting and working in the off season, working in the weight room. So just continue where we left off and improve upon that. Hopefully have even more than 6 over 300.
Yeah, get all 9 or all 10.
That's right.
But only 9 bat. So
that's
see
right.
Again, look, gosh, Mark, we need a book.
Get your rule book.
Look, I'll get it. It might take me a couple of games to get it, but I'll get it. And once I get it, then I'll be in the flow of it, and I'll be good to go. But it's just a learning curve because the whole baseball, you have one chance to play, and if you're bad, you're on the bench. But I feel like here, you can teach a lesson with your substitution. You get the re-entry, all right, come out, get yourself a little breather, get yourself back together, and then get back out there. I think it's good. I like it. I think
it's a good concept. It's tough to keep up with though, but.
So last year, you had a late season push there to kind of put you through the region. What was the reason for that late season push, and what clicked with this team?
I think we just finally came together as a team. We just started clicking. The bats came together, and offensively and defensively, things started clicking. And they wanted to win. They wanted to get over that hump. And we had a lot of close games throughout last season, and a few what-if games. And I think we got over that hump. So. And
the thing about it is, once you kind of get over that hump of turning the quarter and learning how to win games, it becomes a lot easier to win the games. I think. But what's the motivation for this team this year to get beyond that this time?
Just, again, finishing games, not having that one bad inning that breaks us, and making sure that we're playing from the first inning to the last inning and putting everything together, making sure we're doing all the little things that it takes to win ball games.
Yeah, and baseball's such a small thing
Softball.
game. Oh, sorry. Ball. They're both just fundamentally based.